Richard L. Hughes, Leadership, Enhancing the Lessons of Experience. Dive into the intricacies of leadership with the book Summary of a Leadership, Enhancing the Lessons of Experience, by Richard L. Hughes. Explore the complex relationship between leaders, followers, and situations that shape the dynamics of leadership. Understand not only the rational aspects of leadership but also the emotional factors that play a crucial role in molding effective leaders. Learn about the importance of followership in the leadership process and debunk the myths surrounding leadership development. This summary will help you grasp the critical aspects of leadership, such as influence, power, ethics, and values, and how they collectively contribute to effective leadership in various situations.
Leadership, beyond a title. Leadership is a complex relationship between a leader, followers, and situations. Leadership research varies, and there is no single correct definition. The question of what leadership is cannot be separated from that of what followership is. Being an expert on leadership does not guarantee one is a good leader. Emotional appeal can inspire people to follow a leader, but it can also lead to mindlessness. Leaders need to be confident but humble and know when a new direction is needed. Leadership is not complete without followership, but leaders prefer followers who show some dependence. Debunking leadership myths. Many myths abound regarding leadership, including the belief that good leaders are born and not made, or that only the school of hard knocks can train someone to be a great leader. Richard Nixon explored the qualities that he believed made Charles de Gaulle a great leader, highlighting the importance of strong public speaking abilities, portraying an appropriate image, and conveying a sense of stately dignity. There are numerous different approaches to leadership that depend on the situation, and effective leaders often differ from ineffective ones in various ways, including cognitive abilities, skills, values, and personality traits. Followers' expectations, motivations, competence levels, and personality traits also influence the leadership process. Ultimately, leaders must learn how to influence groups of people to achieve common goals effectively, a skill that requires a blend of rational and emotional intelligence. Finally, while it may be useful to differentiate between the functions of leadership and management, it is often advisable to develop complementary leadership and management skills in the same people. Walt Disney's leadership genius. Walt Disney was a visionary leader who had an eye for talent and took big risks to experiment with new ways of doing things. He was committed to producing only the best quality, and his intuition about what could appeal to people of all ages was unmatched. Although he wasn't a social butterfly, he closely monitored every aspect of his brand and trusted his sixth sense to guide him. Disney's success story is a case in point that leadership is not just about the influence a person exerts. Followers also play a significant role in leadership success. Disney's collaboration with his brother Roy, who managed the financial aspects of the business, resulted in unmatched business success. However, when Walt passed away, the company lacked a creative, visionary, and risk-taking leader. Under Roy's solitary leadership, the business produced moderately successful but uninspired formula pieces for 2 decades, highlighting the importance of a collaborative and visionary leadership style for business success. Power and leadership. In Power, Why Some People Have It and Others Don't, Jeffrey Pfeffer explores the different forms of power and influence that leaders can exert on their followers. Leaders not only have the capacity to influence their followers' behaviors and attitudes, but their power is also dependent on the followers and the situation. Pfeffer emphasizes that leaders must understand the various forms of power and influence available to them, as well as recognize their limitations. Exceptional bosses are vivid examples of how to put values into action, whether positively or negatively. The power dynamic between a leader and their followers is constantly changing, and effective leaders are those that can adjust to different situations. Different forms of power, such as rewards or coercion, can be used effectively to influence followers. However, leaders must also pay attention to whether their followers value the incentives they're providing, or whether it's actually changing their attitudes and behaviors. Leadership is also inherently future-oriented, as both transformational and charismatic leadership styles focus on creating a common vision for the future. Pfeffer points out that having a clear vision can have a pervasive impact, whether it's in grand social movements or commonplace business situations. Power has its limits, and Pfeffer gives the example of former U.S. President Jimmy Carter's struggle to get a dead mouse removed from his office in the White House. The complex bureaucracies surrounding leaders can hinder even the simplest tasks, and leaders must find ways to navigate these challenges. Overall, Power is a thought-provoking exploration of the many facets of leadership and how leaders can effectively utilize their power and influence to create positive change. Leadership and ethics. The book explores the role of ethics and values in leadership and how they affect followers at every level. Leaders face ethical dilemmas every day, and the best ones do the right thing, even when it's tough. The book delves into how values develop and are passed down and how they affect leadership. It also examines situations that can help leaders change behavior, as well as the impact of stereotyping, charisma, and the basic human needs of followers. The lack of character in some organizations always comes back to haunt them. The test of true leadership. Leadership is not just about knowledge but also behavior in uncertainty. Becoming a better leader involves constant practice and development of skills, as well as the willingness to grow and adapt. While the business environment and technology may change, the essential qualities of a great leader remain unchanged across time.
In conclusion, Leadership, Enhancing the Lessons of Experience by Richard L. Hughes takes you on a comprehensive journey through the concept of leadership, its many facets, and its importance in different scenarios. Emphasizing the indispensable role of followership, the book addresses the emotional and rational aspects of leadership, and reflects on the significance of ethics and values in shaping effective leaders. By demystifying complex notions and providing valuable insights, this summary equips you with a nuanced understanding of leadership, empowering you to grow and evolve as a leader by acknowledging the importance of experience in refining leadership skills.